Good afternoon, my name is Bryant COF, and I am here to discuss the controversial topic of whether or not adults should have the right to carry concealed weapons. The reason why I bring this topic forth is for the right of protection. There are citizens that believe carrying a concealed handgun would serve better for personal protection and public safety, but I am here to discuss whether or not it is the right decision. I will explore this topic today, and our claim to be concealed weapons has a significant negative effect on the country. Before we begin, I want to have some definition of terms. Adults being anyone of the age 18 years or older, and concealed meaning hidden from the public and only used in emergency situations. So my first claim is adults carrying concealed handguns inflicts violence, and I have a quote here from Megan O'Mats from South Florida, Sentimental, in her article in Florida. It's easy to get a license to carry a gun, which states, another study of Texas permissive concealed carry law found that between January 1st and August 31st of 2001, Texas concealed handgun license holders were arrested for 5,314 crimes, including murder, rape, kidnapping, and theft. The investigation found that some license holders had been arrested for more than 2 crimes per day. So this just shows that people that are even convicted of crimes are able to have concealed weapons in public. Another quote got from the same article is from 1996 to 2000. License holders were arrested for weapon-related crimes at a rate 81% higher than that of the state general's population of 21 years or older, meaning adults of 21 years or older that have a concealed weapon commit crimes much more than those who don't. My second claim is carrying a concealed handgun increases the chances of confrontation escalating and turning lethal. So I have another quote here from Violence Policy Center on the topic of concealed carry killers of March 2014, stating that according to a Violence Policy Center analysis of news report, CCW, short for Controlled Weapons, permit holders have killed at least 14 law enforcement officers and 622 private citizens since May 2007. And these tragic incidents include 27 mass shootings and 39 murder-suicides. So those who carry concealed weapons have and will probably continue to commit crimes at different rates. And I have a third quote from this article stating, this is a different quote from William C. Runkle and Richard Duran from Felons Get Concealed Gun License Under Bush's Tough Gun Law, published in October 30, 2000, stating that a Los Angeles Times analysis of Texas CCW holders, for example, found that between 1995 and 2000, more than 400 criminals, including rapists and armed robbers, had been issued a license under the state's permitting law that they have the right to carry a concealed weapon. So pretty much anyone can access a weapon, even people that commit crimes. And this carries forward to my second claim stating that adults carrying concealed weapons has a negative result in public safety. My first issue is concealed weapons laws make the non-carrying public feel less safe. I have a quote here from Gallup article June 4, 2015, stating that nearly 2 in 3 Americans say they would feel less safe if they were in a public place and knew that concealed firearms were allowed. So pretty much if California allowed concealed weapons, people in the school could also carry concealed weapons during class. My second claim is public safety. Actually, going back, there is also a graph that represents that 65% of the population feel less safe knowing that someone has the right to carry a concealed weapon. 25% feel more safe, 8% has no difference, and 2% as well have no difference. My second claim is public safety should be left to professionally qualified police officers and not regular citizens with knowledge or training. I have a quote here stating that police officers must go through psychological screening and a lot of training before they are allowed to carry a weapon, and this came from the New York Times, published in July 25th, 2012. And the meaning of this is that you have to be able to have psychological training to make the decision of using a concealed handgun. A normal citizen doesn't have that kind of training, and they're more likely to make the wrong decision rather than a trained police officer. So as you all heard today, we can conclude that concealed weapons have a negative effect on the country as it increases crime and concerns public safety. I hope you all agree. Thank you for your attention.
All right, Bryant, you do have a proposition of fact that's contained in the opening, but it's kind of buried between this whole question that you keep raising, whether or not we should have the right to do this, which makes it sound first like a value claim and then also like a policy claim. But when you did identify the claim, it was clearly stated as a claim of fact, so that's good. You just want to be careful about giving it context. That's fine, but I think the way you did it was a little problematic because of the phrasing of the introductory material. There's not really a preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, so we're going to have to wing it as you go along, and that's, I think, is a little bit of a problem. You defined what an adult was. I don't know why you needed to do that. I'm not sure anybody here doesn't know what an adult is, but the definition of concealed probably matters, and I think you might also want to spend a little bit of time, especially talking about the two states that you mentioned, Florida and Texas, and what the concealed carry laws are in those particular places, because that seems to be where most of your information comes from on all those negative examples. When it gets to the body of the speech, it starts off with a numerical signpost, and I thought that was fine, except that I got like 2 or 3 number 2s, 2 or 3 number 1s, and so the signposting is a little confusing with the numerical signposting. I think you have a couple of reasons under your first point and a couple of reasons under your second point, but you keep using numbers to signpost those things, and that's what got confusing. I think it would have been helpful, like I said, if you'd had the preview and listed the 2 main points that you were going to talk about, then it wouldn't have been quite as problematic, even if you did use the numbers later on. But because you had the numbers consistently being used, that it just like it sounded redundant. I got the number 2 like 3 times in a row, and I'm going, how can this be the second thing? I just had the second thing, and then another second thing? That didn't make any sense. On the information that you're presenting, I thought that you had very good factual data, and you cited your sources pretty clearly. You could use a little bit more testimony information, analyzing some of the data that you've got, but there's some statistical information, and like I said, you referred to some examples. The statistical information that you have is mostly opinion poll stuff, but it's okay. Although you did give me this basically the same statistic twice. You had one study that said 2/3 feel less safe, and then the very next thing is 65% feel less safe. I'm going, well, that's pretty much 2/3 again. So I'm not sure why you gave me that number twice, even if it was 2 different studies. It's basically the same information proving that particular point. I think you need to project a little bit more with your voice, so you need to speak up a little bit more, and you need to slow down a little bit, because the combination of kind of having a quieter voice and going quickly, I don't think you're mumbling per se, but you're not as clear as you need to be. And the bigger the audience is, the clearer you need to be. So those would be a couple of things that would help you do that. All right, thank you.